Let's move to this story out of Staten Island. Whoopi Goldberg suggests that a 146-year-old bakery in Staten Island denied her service because of her politics. Watch.
Now, I should tell you, Charlotte Russe has no political leanings. And the place that made these refused to make them for me.
Really?
Yes.
What? Oh.
They said that their ovens had gone down, all kinds of stuff, but folks went and got them anyway, which is why I'm not telling you who made them. But can't be because I'm a woman, but perhaps they did not like my politics.
Yeah.
So that's what she had to say about this bakery, Holterman's Bakery. But the true story, and there was a press conference in Staten Island, and then Holterman's Bakery has said this. They said this order was attempted to be placed. They asked us, and we were having trouble with our boilers. I said to Whoopi, I can't do it right now. We have so many things going on with my boiler because the building is from 1930. I had no idea if we would be baking. So she said we had real problems that Whoopi internalized to somehow bias against politics and use that huge platform, The View, to go after this small but long-time institution in Staten Island.
Yeah, it's a small bakery. The oven broke. I mean, it's really that simple. But guess what? A lot of people from around the country saw through this. People have been calling the bakery, ordering. Even people from as far away as Alabama saying, if you can't send it to me, that's fine. Here's $50. Send the bakery to the local fire department or wherever. People understand. You know what? People are sick of this kind of stuff. And this was a very powerful woman going after, as you said, a small business that gets up, by the way, at the crack of dawn to make bread and donuts and everything we need. That is a really hardworking company there, little small business. That's the big guy.
Yeah,
after the little guy.
Democrat representatives, we spoke to a state senator, a Democrat this morning, and they have the bakeries back. So this idea that it was political or, you know, I mean, maybe they don't like Whoopi, but I bet they'd sell her some desserts in a heartbeat. Money's green. You know, it doesn't matter who it comes from. They're in business.
Funny how Whoopi can still convince herself she's the victim when she has all the power.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A 146-year-old family-run bakery in Staten Island going viral after Whoopi Goldberg made this claim about them.
The place that made these refused to make them for me. Perhaps they did not like my politics.
Yeah, but the bakery's owner, Jill Holterman, explained that the politics had nothing to do with it and that her boiler was actually out. It was broken. New York State Senator Jessica Scarcella Spanton was at the press conference defending the family bakery yesterday, and she joins us now. Thank you for joining us. You know, you look at this and you say, why did Whoopi Goldberg make this thing a thing? Did she really feel like, do you believe she really felt like she was being ostracized for her politics?
I think it was such a ridiculous thing to do, inserting herself into a conversation about a local business and coming after a business, especially as a celebrity, can be incredibly dangerous. But the Staten Island community comes together. It was really self-serving, very self-centered. Businesses aren't thinking about Whoopi Goldberg. They're thinking about how to make sure they get out the best pastries as you see them right in the screen in front of you. They were able to get them. So instead of focusing on something positive, she made it about herself.
Yeah, you know, this business is, I believe, the oldest bakery on Staten Island. It's been around for almost 50 years or more. You don't get to stick around that long if you start making decisions based on your customers' politics. It seems kind of asinine to me.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And listen, I'm a customer of Holterman's Bakery, and I always tell people I'm a Democrat. I'm a normal Democrat. Holterman's never refused to serve me. They just had a broiler issue. They're a wonderful business, a wonderful family, and we're proud to have them here on Staten Island. And now you can see business is booming.
If Whoopi Goldberg reaches out and apologizes, do you think they would accept that apology?
Absolutely. These are wonderful people, and they just don't want to have their business, which they worked really hard for over the last 146 years to be successful, be publicly scrutinized by somebody who really didn't know what they were talking about.
I know, I hate it, but maybe some positive publicity has come from it. I think they're good on business either way. State Senator Scarcella Spanton, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, we showed you this before we went to break. Now it's happening. Whoopi Goldberg causing problems for a bakery, and now a Staten Island bureau president is speaking. Let's watch.
And I think the bottom line here is after we're going to call up Jill, who has had to endure something that she shouldn't have to endure. These people are up at 3 or 4 o'clock every morning. The sacrifices they've made, the holidays they've missed with their families. To make Staten Island better, they have sacrificed for 145 years. Rutherford B. Hayes was the President of the United States, for God's sakes. And they're still here, and they're still strong, and they're not going anywhere, despite what other people on television have to say. And frankly, the people who defamed the Holterman family should apologize to the Holterman family for making stuff up to suit their needs. Not everybody wakes up every day and thinks about politics. A good business person doesn't care about anybody's politics. So with that, I'd like to call up Jill Holterman Bowers. She deserves our 110% support. Jill, come on.
It's a community that I have to tell you, I'm so overwhelmed by the support between finding out yesterday this even happened, getting phone calls, and then people coming in, people from all over just supporting us in every way. We had phone calls yesterday from Alabama. Guy says, I'm going to give you $50, send it to a school, send them donuts, send them cupcakes. The support has been so overwhelming, and I know how hard my family has worked to keep this business alive, and I wish my father was here today to see this. He would never believe it. My bakers come in 2 or 3 in the morning just to have donuts and rolls for everybody to come in and say, we have the best rolls ever. And you know what? It took my whole family. It takes everybody, the community that comes every day to see us. We have this everyday conversation with everybody. How's the family? How's this? This is what makes Holterman's Holterman's. It's the community, it's my fellow everything that come out, and us giving back to the community that makes this go round. And if it wasn't for you and Staten Island to make this work, we still wouldn't be here today. So I know my brother, Billy, work hard. Joe, my baker in the back, is here 6 days a week. He gives his heart and soul to this place. And you know what? My father always said, you do what you love. I'm telling you, this is my heart. And I thank you so much for everybody to come out and support us with the Holterman family. It means the world to me. It really does. Thank you so much. Oh, I wish my father was here for this.
Oh, good. So good. The goodness prevails. And just a little background for those who know, they had a boiler here. Again, it's been here 145 years. They had a boiler that was 60 or 70 years old. And the first week in November, guess what? It went on the fritz. They had to be replaced. And the reputation of Holterman's is impeccable, so rather than commit to something they couldn't guarantee, they said we can't do it. And the person who besmirched and defamed them took that as an insult to her. Well, get over it. This family will be here for, God willing, another 145 years. And as Jill said, it's her family, it's the Staten Island community, it's the elected officials. And I hope if you're watching this across the country, go online and order something, and we'll mail it to you. So keep coming to Holterman's. I'd like to call up State Senator Jessica Scarcella Spanton.
Thank you so much for putting this together, to our wonderful borough president, Vito Fasella, and to the Holterman family. Jill, give her a big round of applause. I think one thing all of the elected officials have in common is that Holterman's has been around our entire lives. My parents' entire lives, my grandparents' entire lives, probably our great-grandparents' entire lives. This is a staple in the Staten Island community, and one message is clear. You do not mess with Staten Island. That's right.
Amen.
We come together as a borough like no other, so just understand, Staten Islanders are going to shop at Holterman's. This is an amazing, amazing family establishment. I encourage everybody to get their Thanksgiving pastries here, everything else. Thank you so much for putting this together, and thank you to the Holterman family for giving us a historic, beautiful business for 146 years, I just heard. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm getting old. 146. Councilman David Carr. David.
Thank you so much, Borough President. You know, Vito always stands up for Staten Island, and today Staten Island needs to be stood up for. And we're here today to have Holterman Bakeries back, because the Holterman family generationally has had the backs of this community. Like so many other small business owners, they give back to the community that they call home. They give back to the community that patronizes them. And I'm so glad that we see all the cars here, all the people coming in and out of the store today to send a message to the person who decided that she was too important for a boiler breakdown, that she had to have her pastries, and if it wasn't coming to her, it must have been someone else's fault. It must have been a directed insult to her. That would never be the case. Staten Islanders don't serve people based on their political opinions. They serve everyone who comes through their doors. And that is the case with the Holterman's family. And in case you can't tell, I love a good bakery. And this is one of the best in the world, bar none. My family has been shopping here since I was a little kid. When my mom had to buy that thing on that snack on the counter that was there for company, it wasn't Entenmann's, it was Holterman's that she bought. And I look forward to seeing the Holterman's pastries and other products all throughout the borough for years to come. So God bless you, Jill, and God bless you, your family.
Well, they showed up, right? And who got the party started? Well, that was the borough president, Vito Scarcella in Staten Island, and he said these words: "This is the American story." Wow. So what did Whoopi Goldberg try to do to this woman in her bakery? Watch.
The place that made these refused to make them for me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What? Oh.
No. Let me explain. They said that their ovens had gone down, all kinds of stuff, but folks went and got them anyway, which is why I'm not telling you who made them. But can't be because I'm a woman, but perhaps they did not like my politics.
Yeah.
Okay, the boiler was broken. I mean, you could hear the New York City councilman there. They brought everybody to those microphones.
Not political, is what they're saying. This is just pure evil by Whoopi Goldberg trying to destroy a family business that's been in business for as long as they just said, just because it couldn't be that she might actually not get a cupcake on her birthday, and because she's such a lunatic, she thinks anything that doesn't go her way is some conspiracy theory against her, and that everybody hates her. This is the intolerance of the left. Like, I have no idea how these people voted, but I'm going to guess that some of the people that just spoke are probably Democrats. And thank goodness that they came out, and thank goodness that they said, you don't do this to our bakery. You don't do this to a family business. I hope there's a lawsuit here. I hope Whoopi Goldberg has to pay a huge, huge birthday check to this bakery. They deserve it.
I think ABC's on the hook here.
I hope they pay
really
too,
do.
then.
Because what we were just talking about, they don't mention Holterman's Bakery, but when you look up, by the way, everybody's Googling this so much now that you just put in 3 letters and it's the first
there.
thing that comes up. But when you go, you see they're iconic, those cupcakes.
Yes.
So they're in like every shot of what's being said while Whoopi's, tearing this woman down and accusing her of being politically discriminatory. So my question is, how much on the hook is ABC News? How much on the hook is Whoopi? Somebody is, because according to the law, how does it work?
Yeah, when you look at libel, slander, or defamation, you can't just not say the bakery's name and say, okay, I'm off the hook. I didn't slander or libel anyone here because I didn't say the name of the bakery. If there's a fact that you disclose that could lead someone to infer what you are talking about, you can still be on the hook. And to your point, that infamous, or not infamous, I should say famous, white box with the pink polka dots allowed people to very easily find that this was Holterman's Bakery.
It's so famous it was good enough for The View.
Yes, she chose to unleash, Whoopi Goldberg, to unleash the attack dogs based on what evidence? What evidence led her to believe this was about politics? I've heard none, but thank God this bakery is fighting back.
Well, it's about politics now, because as you said, some of those New York representatives could very well be Democrats as well.
Yeah, but Staten Island is, it's pretty conservative. They're in rare territory in terms of the 5 boroughs of New York City. Great people there. They obviously are very passionate about their environment and their community. And, what is Whoopi Goldberg doing, calling me like, this is Whoopi Goldberg, and I need something custom made for me and my Whoopi Goldbergness
For
now. And they might have had those pre-made. So before the boiler broke down, someone, may have made all of those lovely confections, which someone was able to fetch and take to Whoopi on set because, God knows, it looks like she's missed a lot of cupcakes lately.
Man, we just get deeper and deeper. So what is the truth of all of this?
Well, I think the truth is that Whoopi Goldberg is an incredibly self-indulgent person who thinks everything is about her. So she thinks and takes it personally because that's how highly she thinks of herself, and she thinks everyone else regards her in that way, that they would care what her politics are, that they would go to such lengths that they wouldn't make her a cupcake. I'll tell you what this also is, in my opinion, is it's projection and it's deflection. This is what the left does. I've had numerous instances in California and in other liberal places where people didn't want to serve me, or where I got, bad looks, or I felt obviously uncomfortable being in a place because of who I am and what I believe in. I would never call these places out on air. I would never try to disparage them or hurt their business. But I think that she's used to that because she's on the left, and maybe she would do that to somebody. So she automatically assumes that was done to her, but it quite clearly wasn't.
It's real quickly, because you and I had, I think, seen some of the same reporting on this, that The View might be struggling right now with its view.
Yeah.
and maybe they really ought to be more sensitive to the fact that everybody's a part of this country.
The View has one view. They all voted for Kamala Harris. So how about that? You've got The View, and it's only one view, and 76 million Americans don't have a voice. So there you have it.
New York City officials are joining the owners of a family-owned bakery in demanding an apology from Whoopi Goldberg. They say the co-host of The View lied about the business not taking her order due to her liberal politics. Lauren Green is tracking this story for us. Hey, Lauren.
Hey, Griffel, no apology yet from Whoopi Goldberg, but the controversy has only helped the family-owned pastry shop as business is booming at Holterman's Bakery. Holterman's has been a mainstay on Staten Island for 146 years. The borough is a conservative enclave amongst New York City's 5 boroughs, voting for Trump in the presidential election. On Wednesday, The View host said when she ordered treats called Charlotte Russe for her 69th birthday to celebrate on the show, and she claimed she was refused service because of her liberal politics.
Charlotte Russe has no political leanings. And the place that made these refused to make them for me.
Oh,
really? Yes. What? They said that their ovens had gone down, all kinds of stuff, but folks went and got them anyway, which is why I'm not telling you who made them. But can't be because I'm a woman, but perhaps they did not like my politics.
Yeah. Well, the bakery owner said it had nothing to do with politics, that there was indeed trouble with an old boiler that stoked the ovens, and they just couldn't commit to a large order. Borough president defended the bakery.
They had a boiler that was 60 or 70 years old, and the first week in November, guess what? It went on the fritz. They had to be replaced, and the reputation of Holterman's is impeccable, so rather than commit to something they couldn't guarantee, they said we can't do it. And the person who besmirched and defamed them took that as an insult to her. Well, get over it.
Well, Holterman's Facebook page says it's overwhelmed at the outpouring of support they're receiving from all around the country. And according to TMZ, the owners say Goldberg really owes them an apology.
The Holterman Bakery story is an American story. This place has been here for 145 years. Recently, somebody took to the national airwaves and defamed, frankly, this family, this wonderful family representing a wonderful business. And we're here today to support them, to say that Staten Island stands with them.
Well, New York City officials supporting an historic and iconic family-owned bakery against Whoopi Goldberg after she suggested that the business refused to serve her over her liberal views. Well, the bakery owners deny that. Lauren Green has more on this from our New York newsroom. Hey, Lauren.
Well, hey, Eric. Well, no apology yet from Whoopi Goldberg, but the controversy has only helped the family-owned pastry shop as business is booming at Holterman's Bakery. Holterman's has been a mainstay on Staten Island for 146 years. The borough is a conservative enclave amongst New York City's 5 boroughs, voting for President Donald Trump in this election. On Wednesday, The View host said when she ordered treats called Charlotte Russe for her 69th birthday to celebrate on the show, and she claimed she was refused service because of her liberal politics.
They're called Charlotte Russe, and it's a sponge cake with whipped cream and a cherry on top. Now, I should tell you, Charlotte Russe has no political leanings, and the place that made these refused to make them for me.
Oh, really?
Yes. What? They said that their ovens had gone down, all kinds of stuff, but folks went and got them anyway, which is why I'm not telling you who made them. But it's can't be because I'm a woman, but perhaps they did not like my politics.
Yeah. Now, the bakery owner said it had nothing to do with politics, that there was indeed trouble with an old boiler that stoked the ovens and couldn't commit to the large order. Borough president defended the bakery.
Boiler that was 60 or 70 years old, and the first week in November, guess what? It went on the fritz. They had to be replaced, and the reputation of Holterman's is impeccable. So rather than commit to something they couldn't guarantee, they said we can't do it. The people who defamed the Holterman family should apologize to the Holterman family for making stuff up to suit their needs. Not everybody wakes up every day and thinks about politics.
Now, Jill Holterman, the owner of Holterman's Bakery, shared how this has become a family affair.
And I wish my father was here today to see this. He would never believe it. My bakers come in 2 or 3 in the morning just to have donuts and rolls for everybody to come in and say, we have the best rolls ever. And you know what? It took my whole family.
Holterman's Facebook page says it's overwhelmed at the outpouring of support they're receiving from all around the country. And according to TMZ, the owners say Goldberg owes them an apology. Eric?
Yeah, that's what she does. Because they make the Charlotte Russe. It's an iconic New York dessert, almost lost history. Because Holterman's is the only bakery in New York City that still makes it. And I know from personal experience.
And you need to get those to us as soon as possible.
I will do that this week. All right, Laura, thanks.
Sure.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.